Hey everyone, welcome back to the Stream of Misery, as I am calling it tonight. Yo, Doggo, thank you for showing up. Hope you're doing better than I've been doing, to say the least. Ah. The stream of defeating the cold. Yes, sir, it is. Just gotta hop into training for a tick.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
So, basically, decided to stream SoulCalibur tonight. To kind of make up for lost time in a way. Because I've been sick all week. And in fact, I'm still like 95% better. There's still 5% of me that's a bit like congested and coughing and stuff like that. So now it's just the long process of coughing up shit that I don't want in my system. So I'm still going to sound pretty sniffly tonight, so I do apologize in advance for that. Yeah, let's see. Don't I have a... Yeah, I do. I was out for 1 week and that was enough for Anita to resurface. Don't get sick, man. Yeah, that was a whole fucking drama that's been resurfacing, and frankly it's deserved, to be honest, because anyone at this point in time who does not see the very obvious damage Anita has done to the gaming industry, you're just in the enemy. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so tired of placating these people who say, oh, she didn't do anything particularly bad. What are you talking about? It doesn't make sense. It's like it makes perfect sense why people are upset about her. It's been a while since I played, so I'm just familiarizing myself with 2B tonight, because we'll be doing a couple of arcade runs. God, I remember why I mained her when she first came out. Also butt crack. Christ almighty. Yeah, I remember when this game was coming out, I actually went out of my way to... Like, I watched, Aris from Avoiding the Puddle. I watched him do, like, character breakdowns of Soul Calibur 6. And I watched 2Bs, and I actually wrote down notes and everything. Like, I'm pretty sure I still have those notes, actually. Of, like, what her good buttons are, and all that. God, it has been a while. How the, Yeah. Trying to remember how I did that pod, well, not that, but... Also, Valve hit the Slay the Spy reviews complaining about Anita. Yeah, that... Valve has always done this off-topic review hiding thing. They do it all the time. They pretend to be neutral about it, but it's... Like, 9 times out of 10 when I see reviews hidden, it's because of politics stuff. It's like the majority of issues whenever that happens. It's always politics. How do you float? How do you fly with a pod? I'm trying to remember. It has been way too long. I'm sure it's not that important. Hope people would wake up after that. Well, sadly, the generation, my generation and below, so millennials and zoomers, we've kind of been divided, like, completely. Not even necessarily in left and right spheres, although that's becoming more true over time as people have become more radicalized. But, the fact that Anita's whole thing is being swept under the rug again by the left, even though I distinctly remember a few years ago that leftists weren't happy with Anita either, but because the right is complaining about her again, they must come back and defend her, even though they were criticizing her as well after a while. The left always does this thing where they defend a position, and then when the right seems to win an argument, they silently admit defeat, but then over time, when people forget that this was a discussion that they were having, the left comes back and says, actually, you were ridiculous all along for believing that the left had any power whatsoever to say this or that. And then you have to remind them, because they play this fucking game of citations, where if you can't recall literally every citation you've seen over the past 12 years about this issue or that issue, then you're a liar. It's like, no, we're not liars, it's just usually people leave other people in our sphere to kind of like archive the evidence of their own free will, and we kind of like bookmark or keep tabs on the things that we're interested in. So not everyone has got to remember everything about Anita, because we're not fucking obsessed crazy people. But it doesn't diminish her influence just because we forget one or two things, or we don't have it on hand immediately as soon as you demand it on social media. It's like, first off, go outside and do something else, because why the fuck do you care? And secondly, Anita had the fucking United Nations listening to her and Zoe Quinn. She's had Arcane Studios, which is now defunct, by the way. They're gone. The creators of Dishonored, they had her consult on the game and give advice on a game that she wasn't even going to play, by the way. And she's not the only left-wing grifter that's doing this. And yes, she is by definition a grifter, right? She's not the only leftist doing this. And we all know this by now. It's just, the problem is our opponents are people who use words to deceive us, who don't believe in objective truth. They only believe in winning the argument. You can't reason with those people. There is no discussion to be had there. Tanned brown 2B with white dress goes hard. Yeah, 2P. 2P, because this is the official name for chocolate 2B. She was so popular just from this game alone that they canonized her in Final Fantasy XIV. It's like, holy shit, bro. Crazy influence. That's the influence I want to see in my video games, not fucking Anita's bullshit. I want this, where a character design is so fucking popular, organically popular, that she shows up in other video games. Oops. Trying to remember the controls now.
Victory will not come easily.
You didn't play Nier Automata 3 yet? What's up with 2P? Story sounds cool though. So 2P is not official canon in Nier Automata. The only official version of 2P that exists in like an actual legitimate copy of Nier Automata is the Switch version. So if you don't own the Switch version of Nier Automata, and I think you have to update the game, which is really annoying, but whatever. But basically, she's a free update to your Switch copy of the game. Otherwise, the only other media she shows up in that I'm aware of that you can still play, so we're excluding mobile games because I don't remember. She only shows up canonically in Final Fantasy XIV, where there's a Nier Automata collaboration story. Now, I don't know the details of it because I haven't played FF14. I just know about it through my brothers. But I know 2P makes an appearance there. And, well, obviously she's in SoulCalibur 6. This is where she originally showed up. Turns out the cure to racism is to make non-white characters attractive as fuck. You do own the Switch version of Nier, you need to take a look at that. Yeah, please do. I love Nier Automata. I played the hell out of Nier Automata on PS4. So I'm a big fan of that game. If you play it on PC, I'm pretty sure there's a mod you can download that'll allow you to play as 2P. Because it's just a palette swap. You get the stream title now, it's deep, yeah. There's a funny play on words. I thought, you know what, if I'm recovering from a cold, and I'm going to play some SoulCalibur, then I can do a Quirko Wholesome Chungus title. What else happened recently? Parada left Bandai Namco last year in December, and he joined SNK, which has caused quite a stir in the gaming community, especially. How did I do that? Oh yeah, I do remember that, actually. Hilda's lips are truly something. Yeah, they're kind of distracting how big they are. Oh. A treat from the chocolate goddess herself? Oh. Good news, SNK is you think the last true gaming company left. Yeah, you could probably thank the Saudis for that, to be honest. Because if the Saudi... Here's the thing, if the Saudis didn't buy SNK, and it's pretty safe to say that's a vanity project, not a legitimate, like, capital gaining purchase. Because SNK is not that popular compared to, like, Capcom and Bandai, right? So, clearly, the Saudi prince bought SNK because he likes SNK, right, as a company and their games. Eat shit. And if it wasn't the here's the thing about the Saudis, right? If the Saudis don't buy these video game companies, who does? BlackRock and Vanguard. Do we really? Would we rather? Would we rather have the Saudi government purchase video games under the belief and evidence so far, based on how long he's owned SNK now? Would we rather have a foreign government that doesn't insert propaganda into the games own the companies that make our games? Or would we rather BlackRock, which is owned by special interest, which is funded and organized by special interest groups with their own political agendas, would we rather have those guys own our games? I don't think so. You saw 2P, what's going on? Hey, Jaded Warlock. I'm playing SoulCalibur, because I'm feeling a bit better now that I've recovered 95% from my cold. Saudis over at BlackRock, I'd rather tolerate occasional football star than the message. Yep, that's my opinion as well. So here's the thing, right? If the Saudi government decided to insert their own propaganda, whether it's Islamic or government propaganda, if they were telling SNK to insert propaganda into the games, I'd have a problem with that. That's my line, personally, right? But if it's just letting SNK make the games they want, then I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue when they want to preach their particular propaganda that I don't agree with, right? With fan service intact, yes, of course. That's a given. What do you mean my controller's... Okay. Why is it disconnected? Let's try. Where's the port? There you are. Right. Let's try that again. Agreed, the moment they start putting some very positive Muslim propaganda in the games, I'm out. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's one thing if there are Muslim game developers who want to make their own video game about Islam, they have the freedom to do that, right? It has absolutely nothing of value to me personally, but if that's what they wanted to do, that's fine. I would have a problem if they were forcing a Japanese company like SNK to do it, because even though they're owned by the Saudi government, they're still Japanese, not only in its staff, but in its spirit and its philosophy. As well. It's so hard to pick a favorite character in this game because there's so many good ones. On that you agree with. If the Saudis want to make a Muslim game by Muslims for Muslims, they should do it without the Japanese. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty much my stance. Now, I know SNK did create an Arabian character by the name of Najid for King of Fighters. She's a Muslim character, like, designed for the Middle Eastern market. This is kind of around the time when Rashid from Capcom, Street Fighter came out, and Shaheen, sorry, they all sound the same to me, I'm sorry. Shaheen from Tekken. And I would say, of the Arabian characters that exist, I'd say Najid is my favorite, because she's still, like, conventionally attractive, even though she's not drawn or designed to reveal much clothing. But she doesn't offend my eyes, you know? From Street Fighter 5, right? Yeah. Rashid's from 5. He's actually the protagonist of 5. But he is so fucking lame as a character that it actually is impressive. Just how fucking awful he is. Oops. See? I saw that coming. That made it cool. How do I do that? Kind of forgettable. I could stomach looking at her is what I mean. Staring at her. Yeah. Wow. Cassandra. What's this about? I really wanted to unleash my critical edge, guys. Oh my god. Charging that shield on me? Yeah. She's beating my ass in the quote retweets. Alright. I didn't have to do that. Nice reward. If I had blown up, this would have been a very epic screenshot. Another cool character in this game, Setsuka. God. SoulCalibur really has some of the coolest characters in fighting games. It's not even an exaggeration. An exaggeration to say that.
Blood, flesh, and souls are offered to the gods amidst deathly chants.
Like, imagine you're just... Imagine playing a game, like a fighting game, where every character is basically a JRPG protagonist. Like, isn't that fucking sick? Oh, that was close. SoulCalibur 4 IV is still one of the most daring designs you've seen in gaming. Yeah, it is actually insane, her design. Actually crazy. Penalty shot for a victory. Now that's how to motivate the player. 100% agreed. We were spoiled back in the day. Absolutely. It's actually insane. It's actually insane just how puritanical video games have gotten now. Like, literally, SoulCalibur 6 came out in the perfect time. If it came out nowadays, it'd be censored to hell and back. I could have been drive impacting, and that would have made this a lot quicker, to be honest. Now they're so afraid of going back to what worked, it's unreal. Yeah, Code Vein is the perfect example of this. Because we're talking about Bandai Namco here, right? Code Vein 2 came out, censored some female designs, introduced body type 1 and 2 again, disregarded the first game's story completely, so it's basically just a reboot, right? Brought back old character designs, like outfits, like EO's outfit, censored on Code Vein 2. And it sold... I don't even think the game sold 2 million copies, did it? Fucking retarded. Bandai is so fucking retarded. That's why he's scared to hear anything about SoulCal 7. Yeah, me too. The sad part is, right... Oop. I got impacted that, what the hell? Bamco can't even let GBO2 get more servers in the West. Which one's GBO2? Could you tell me what GBO2 is? I'm drawing a blank right now. That off the ground move is so good. Gundam Battle Operations 2. Yeah, I thought it was Gundam. I didn't want to say something for certain, but yeah, I had a feeling it was a Gundam thing you were talking about. Yeah, that is a game that's coming. That is in the West, isn't it? Come on. Fine. You also completed Corpse Party Blood Drive yesterday, and the game is quite horny. Yeah, it is. There's a full fucking uncensored playthrough of Corpse Party on YouTube you can watch. So I know exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about the bathing scene with one of the girls and her little brother. It's like actually crazy. That game can't come out now. And also the plot was interesting. You like how the franchise seems to have an allergy to happy endings. Yeah. It's definitely quite a dark series. I mean, obviously, it's called Corpse Party, right? But yeah, I remember watching a playthrough with my brother a while ago. Yeah, and it freaked us the fuck out in a lot of instances. It got Shane got into the game after that playthrough, so you're struggling with connections issues in Burgerland. Yeah, Bandai Namco has. I talked about this last stream. I think it was the last RE4 stream. Bandai Namco has a bunch of divisions that don't talk to each other, so any issues that could be resolved by one department instead has to be resolved by the same department that is already working on the game, you know? do. Oh, the bathing scene. Yes, legendary stuff, but you're talking about the 4th entry. Oh, okay. Never mind then. Back to Code Vein, when you learned who was going to be rated T and not M, you said, not for me. Yeah, it seems you were on the money with that one. That was a sick dodge. Yeah, Code Vein 2, I wanted to buy it and support it, but I'm sorry, if you can't stand by your own original vision, and you're being forced to censor it by BlackRock or your localizers, then I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to destroy BlackRock by giving them money, am I? Now you could say, oh, Ethnic Weeb, you're a hypocrite because you bought Street Fighter 6. It's like, yeah, I'm aware of where my money's going. But that's not the same as, like, there's only so much I can do about that. It's like, BlackRock isn't everything. So I have to pick my battles as to what I support, right? But with Code Vein 2 so blatant about its censorship, it's like, I can't support that, because you made it so obvious to everyone that it's just like, why would I even bother, right? It's like someone making a GTA that's rated T for teens, or making a Mated Abyss for all ages. Oh yeah, I saw that thing that Reddit's doing now, where they're literally censoring manga panels for people who want to read it. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, you dumbasses? I mean, what am I saying? It's Reddit. Of course they're dumbasses. They go on Reddit. It's just like I'm sorry. If you guys remember the first stream I went on with Mike Hollow, just mentioning this briefly. The very first stream I went on for his channel, I was talking to Finn T about Made in Abyss. And he didn't seem to believe me when I said that Made in Abyss is very much a lolly and Shotokan-oriented manga. Just because it's dark doesn't mean it's not there, right? And it's like, well, clearly Reddit can identify those elements in it. That's why they're censoring it for people, so they could say everyone can enjoy it. It's like, no. If you're going to watch Made in Abyss, if you're going to read Made in Abyss, you're going to have to deal with this part. Because it is absolutely integral to the identity of Made in Abyss. And if you don't like it, then just don't read it. Don't watch it. Just fuck off, you know? But you know how the left is. If they can't... if it's not automatically woke in their minds, they will make it woke as much as possible. Which is why they infiltrate all our communities. Code Vein 2 was recently $10 and no one seems to want to buy it anyway, Keck. Yeah, I saw that. It's on Humble Bundle, isn't it? Like, severely discounted. It was censored in development the same way Horizon Zero Dawn or Assassin's Creed Odyssey was. Yeah, by consultancy groups. By leftists. They are at the heart of the majority of censorship cases over the past, I'll say, let's say 12 to 15 years. The vast majority of censorship cases, it's the left's fault. Now, people might listen to me say that and like, oh, weeb, You don't understand. The right wing is actually the real bad guys. And look, listen, right? I agree that there are right wingers that are pro censorship. I agree that there are groups of right wingers, say, for example, in the anime community, that are pro censorship and are advocating for censorship. You're absolutely right to say that those groups exist, but you cannot convince me that they have any institutional power like the left does. It's impossible to argue that, especially today. Back then, if it was like 30, 40 years ago, which I hate saying that because it should be 20 years because I'm perpetually in the 2000s mentally. 30, 40 years ago with like satanic panic stuff, yes, absolutely the right wing, the Christian right wing, had the power needed to censor stuff. Why do you think Nintendo of America censored all the religious stuff in every game that's localized from Japan to the West, right? It's because of the satanic panic and Christian lobbyist groups and government forces. They absolutely were terrified of the right wing for that. What we're seeing now is just the left wing version of that, except instead of Christianity, it's woke. It's Marxism. Redditors can't read? No, they can't. It was proven long ago. Same way Prisma Ilia is pretty lolicon core. It's not even pretty, it's like baked into the identity of Prisma Ilia. It's absolutely a lolicon anime. Right? Like, and you know, I'll even go as far as to say Fate Stay Night as a franchise appeals to lolicons. Just objectively true. That's just what it does. But you watched it and enjoyed it all the same. Yeah, I still have to watch it. I own DVDs, but I haven't watched it yet. 15 years, to be honest. I only say 12 to 15 because the left-wing censorship ramped up right around when Xenoblade Chronicles X and Fire Emblem Fates came out. That's when we really started noticing it at the bare minimum, and it's only gotten worse since then. Because they don't know when to quit. Nope. It's time for the revolution, brother. So, or comrade, as they say. So, yeah. Reddit seems to have fully embraced their fate of being eternally violated by censorship. Stockholm Syndrome to the max. Yeah, violated. Couldn't write because YouTube hides the comment. Yeah. I hate YouTube censorship. Despite the uptick in puritanical Christian weebs, they aren't the ones eliminating our source. It's the Marxy Marxes. We never got our Ilia route. That's true. Should have been at least in Holo Ataraxia, in my opinion. But and you wish that we got the Medea route. I would have liked the Medusa route personally, but. I mean, that's always the thing with visual novels. You can only write so many different romance options. It's sad. Let's see. Yeah, despite the uptick in puritanical Christian weebs, they aren't the ones eliminating our source. Yeah, no, they aren't. The crimes of I guess we'll say Christian weebs for the sake of argument, because look, there are other Christians who are weebs and who are not fucking censorious cuckolds, right? They exist. It's just the narrative has been dominated by these fucking right-wing anti-tubers like I don't even remember his fucking name, but he's some fucking Filipino guy who's like, well, he's Christian obviously, and he lives in Australia, and he said he's like, yes, I'm going to take your porn away, because I am righteous and blah blah blah. It's like, oh my god, here we go again with this shit, right? But their crimes really is they're just poisoning the well of the Western fandom. Like, the left has already poisoned it, but the Christians are just making it worse, right? Or they're just adding on to the pile. They have no such influence in Japan because Japan is not a Christian country. That's why they can't get anywhere. That's why they have to make it so that the Western fandom as a whole aligns with their particular version of Christianity. That is to say, the pro-censorship Christianity. Which I don't agree with, obviously. Whereas the left, because they are committed to the Marxist revolution, they're better suited to act as like foot soldiers. They're better suited to staying committed to the ideology so much that they will learn an entire language and fly all the way to Japan and get a job there just to spread Marxism. And frankly, Christians don't do that. They have no such power to do that, especially in Japan. Like, specifically Japan, right? It would be nice if kind of like a right-wing alternative to what the left is doing did go into Japan and start reversing the damage by these Marxists, but well, it takes time, and you know, the economy's not good, and the right has historically been very anti-art to the point that they complain about the lack of right-wing art, or why Christian art doesn't take off anymore. And it's like, well, being pro-censorship for one thing doesn't help. that's one issue, but the main issue is that because you're so dedicated to your religion, you don't you try to turn everything into propaganda for the religion instead of using allegories, right? Tolkien famously hates allegories, right? And he was probably talking about C.S. Lewis's, I think it was C.S. Lewis, The Chronicles of Narnia, which is heavily allegorical to Christianity, right? So Tolkien famously hates allegories, but he also later said that the Lord of the Rings was at first an unconsciously, but later a fully conscious, like, Catholic story, right? Which is fine. He was Catholic, so he's allowed to do that, right? But even if you aren't Catholic, if you aren't Christian, or if you aren't religious, The Lord of the Rings is such a well-told story that basically anyone can enjoy it, so long as they, you know, don't hate white people. So but most Christian artists can't do what Tolkien does. Like, Tolkien can't talk about... Sorry, let me start again. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings holds the test of time because it... At the heart of it is... It kind of, like, explores the human condition, right? Like, stories about the human condition, which maybe you could argue all stories are about the human condition, but that's a whole fucking debate. But writing about the human condition means it's more universal, right? Which means it's more palatable to everyone to watch it, read it, play it, and you know, you're able to get across the specific thing you want to talk about better by talking about the human condition. Like, not to get into spoilers with my book, Starfaller, which, this DOA video took up my time, and then I got sick recently, so that took time away from the video that I would have been putting into it. So, but, not to get into spoilers about my book, Starfaller, but the human condition is kind of baked into the identity of my book, the identity of my story, right? Like the main characters all like represent something about the human condition. Like, not like specific examples, but just like like a collection of different like ideas about the human condition. Like the main character, I could think of, I could think of a couple of ways as to how like his particular backstory and his particular actions speak to a certain kind of person in real life kind of thing. I could think about the deuteragonist who does something else. Christians and Marxists, right? So left and right, they both write propaganda, basically. Like not even allegorical storytelling, just outright propaganda. They both do it. With Marxism, it's stuff like LGBT characters or capitalism bad, white people bad, all that stuff, right? The resistance, the empire, stuff like that, right? With right wing, it's just, hey, this story is about how much we love God, and oops, our antagonist is an atheist, so we gotta convert him by the end of the story. And it's like, wow, riveting stuff. I'm sure. Listen, Shiro being trained by Medea inducing Saber would have made Gil and Kotomine shit themselves. Yeah, probably right. Rule Breakers is fucking broken. The left are way too committed to ending the world for the sake of their ideology. It's insane. Yeah, they are they're true believers. They are blind followers. Absolutely, they believe because all Marxists strive for power and control. It never occurs to them that they won't be the winners. Like 99% of the time, they're not the winners. And they never can be the winners. Christian art nowadays is not solely focused on the religion and not to the craft itself. This is why many Christians are glomping onto Warhammer 40k like beetles to honey. Yeah, they're doing it to free rent as well, actually. And I've actually been thinking about... I've been thinking a lot about free rent because, starting on Mother's Day, I've been watching it with my brother Shane and our mum, right? You don't know what it is, but it seems there's a part of the brain that imagination and creativity occupies that many zealous people either destroy or let their ideology occupy it and lose. Well, I can say... So, I've said it elsewhere, but in my teenage years, I used to be a feminist myself, right? So, I've been on one end of the extreme, and I'm somewhere in the middle, probably leaning more right-wing lately, to be honest. But, let the ideology occupy and lose the ability to separate fantasy from reality, fact from fiction. Yeah, it's... Yeah, so I could speak a bit about that personally because I used to be a feminist, or a male feminist. I never called myself male feminist, but that objectively that's what I was, right? It was during my teenage years. I got converted into feminism by a guy who I was friends with on DeviantArt. And because I was a dumb teenager who had no friends, I guess relinquished my independent thought to gain his approval, right? Because I was writing fan fiction at the time, and I wanted to get better at it, and I perceived him to be the better writer than me. So I wanted his friendship. I wanted his guidance on these things, right? Like on life. And one of his guiding things was feminism. So we got into debates about fan service and objectification and sexism and stuff like that. And because I was only 16 at the time, I didn't really have the tools necessary to argue against what he was saying. Sorry, just clearing my throat. So we'll get into these, like, massive arguments, like, these really heated arguments where, like I would get, like, really worked up and angry and argue for hours over him with this stuff. And, stupidly, in a moment of weakness, when he, like, beat me in an argument, I basically renounced my former beliefs and converted to feminism, kind of thing. So, for a couple of years, I was full on into the whole idea of, like, 50-50 male-female splits on everything in life, kind of thing. Fan service of female characters was bad, objectifying and stuff like that. I tried pushing the idea that objectifying men was also bad, but that never gained any traction whatsoever because that was never the point of feminism. But I believed stupidly that it was, right? And it eventually got to a point where I asked too many questions that contradicted the doctrines of feminism, where it was like, I found contradictions in this or that thought process, and I would, like, mention them, and like, even if I managed to get my feminist friend to agree with me on one or two things, one of the turning points for me, I'm trying to remember, is I think it was something about Attack on Titan, or at least it was, like, tangentially related to Attack on Titan, right? But basically, what really started my breakaway from feminism, from leaving the cult, was when my friend at the time said, I don't mind if a story is bad so long as it advances my feminist beliefs, kind of thing. And at the time, that really, like, threw me for a loop. It's like, hang on, this entire time we've been debating each other about the quality of storytelling, like shonen manga and fanfiction and stuff like that. And now you're telling me, after all those years of us going back and forth about this topic, you're now telling me that you're okay with the story being bad as long as it advances your ideology, kind of thing. And that really, like, that was when I was like, okay, there's something's not right about this whole thing. And then Gamergate happened, and that further took me away from the feminist narratives about Gamergate and about gamers and stuff like that. I didn't necessarily believe in that narrative, in, like, the Anita Sarkeesian narrative anyway. I wasn't a fan of her even back then. But what really broke the camel's back for me, the straw that broke the camel's back, was Shirtgate. I think his name was Dr. Matt Hardy. Dr. Matt Hardy, something like that. Matt Hayden? I don't remember. The guy with the shirt with a bunch of, like, scantily dressed women that his female friend made for him. And the online backlash to that, and the forced apology, and the humiliation that I saw from that was the breaking point for me. That's when I took a step back from my deeply held beliefs at that time, and debated with myself over and over and over again for, like, 48 hours. What do I actually believe? Kind of thing. And eventually I left feminism after that. Like, I think it was right after the 48 hours I left feminism. And eventually after that, once I had another argument with my feminist friend at the time, that's when I cut off ties with them. That's when I fully left feminism. And that's basically my early online history in a nutshell. I have not logged into DeviantArt for many years, but yeah, no, I've never spoke to that guy ever again, because obviously we're not friends anymore. The last I heard is that he now identifies as non-binary, so I was like, okay, why am I not surprised? You weren't really feminist, but in your college years, you're certainly at the moral crossroads. You distinctly remember the feeling that you don't know what's true anymore, and maybe feminism is the way. Yeah. Yeah, your late teenage and your early adult years are some of the most confusing times of your life, because that's kind of your transition point from being treated with kitty gloves to being introduced to the adult world properly, which means you're susceptible to adult manipulation. Thank God Shirkgate happened, various video game censorships happened like with Dragon Age, and all the feminists at college were garbage people. That slowly blackpilled you. Well, don't let them blackpill you. Let red pill, yeah, not black pill. Like, that's a... Once you move away from left-wing echo chambers, people aren't nearly as bad as we're led to believe. It's one of those things with the internet and how you kind of get like tunnel vision with this shit, with all the bullshit they spout. You were a feminist once upon a time, but you're not because you debated ideals with people, but because just about everyone doing well around you were women. So you just believed women could just do as good a job as men. Yeah. Then you entered the real world and learned you were not only in a bubble, but in a bubble of a bubble. Gamergate kind of broke your feminist shackles. You know what I'm talking about? He wrote the code that landed a satellite on the moving comet. Yep. But no one cared, only about his shirt. Yeah. In a bubble of a bubble. Yeah. It's like, how did I describe it at the time to myself? It's like, when I was a feminist, it felt like, it was like you're saying, in a bubble of a bubble, but with my bubble, it was like, if I made any slight movement inside the bubble, it would pop the whole thing, and I'd be exposed to, like, judgment, I guess you could say. Like some sort of punishment from the feminist groupthink. It was not a healthy not a healthy friendship at all. It really wasn't. Like, I don't believe I could go back to this guy as I am now and expect to rekindle the friendship. I can't. I don't use this word often, but toxic is accurate. It was a toxic friendship from beginning to end. And, well, there was just there's just no rebuilding from that. There's just no, especially since he's gone further off the deep end than I've gone the other way around, so. Black pill joined feminism, but yeah, basically red pilled, yeah. Anyway, let's play a bit more SoulCalibur. I kind of got stuck into my story there. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do.
Welcome to the stage of history retold.
One of the flaws of this version of the game is that it's not the most optimized Unreal Engine 4 port. Should I get in trouble with YouTube today? Yes. So that dude really lost his marbles? Yeah, he did. Completely. I mean, he was Swedish, so maybe it was inevitable on his part. Maybe he was always going to be like that. Let's go!
Witches attracts more chaos than customers.
警告前方に敵性反応
排除する。ここが見せ場ね。やるわ。
By the way, guys, this outfit is allowed in SoulCalibur 6, but Dead or Alive having goon bait? Nah, that's a step too far. How big is 2B's arse? Let's find out.
Easily.
Wow. Oh, shit. You fucking bitch. Now it's my turn. He was Swedish? Yeah, he was doomed. Yeah. Well, I guess in all seriousness, even though I've not spoken to him for many years, there's still a part of me that... There's still a part of me that hopes that he's, you know, not unhappy with his life, you know?
The battle is over. Show respect for the fallen who fought so bravely.
敵からの回収品を報告
内容は
See? Look at this fucking outfit, man. Look at that outfit. Why is Dead or... This will get mentioned in the video. Why is Dead or Alive derided as like the worst Goonabait game of all time, but I could do this in SoulCalibur and no one cares? Like, that's just bullshit, isn't it? How's that fair? And listen. I'm not saying SoulCalibur has to tone down its fan service either. I'm not. I'm saying the complete opposite. What I'm saying is I don't understand why the FGC looks at SoulCalibur Goonbait and says nothing about it, but when Dead or Alive does only half of what SoulCalibur does, oh, this is fucking CSAM and Mary Rose should be removed from the game and blah blah blah. It's like, oh my god, you people are fucking impossible to please. You want your jewel bikini in a fighting game? God damn it! Yeah. Well, you see, it's because SoulCal 6 is respectable players TM, and DOA is for gooners. So take that, chud.
Victory goes to the last.
You know, it's part of our humanity, my humanity, to want that. Hilda's lips are made for cocksucking, I swear. Hey, girls, I got it. Stop fighting. Lady, stop fighting for a tick, okay? Hilda's lips are for sock cocking. Sock cocking. And Tubi's bum is for sausage sizzles, okay? Perfect combination.
内容は
I will provide the sausage.
そう
Those girls are fighting over me. Me? I feel so special. They'll say and do anything they need to in order to feel like they've won. Yeah. You know, it's interesting, actually. I'm currently... Well, I don't know how likely this is to make it into the video for DOA. Let me fight Cervantes first, and I'll elaborate on something I've been learning. Oh, that move is so cool. They do say strong women have a weak back door. That move is so fucking busted, I love it.
Victory goes to the last one standing.
Yep. That's the combo. I remember now.
The battle is over. Show respect for the fallen who fought so bravely.
敵からの回収品を報告。
内容は
You thought Ivy had this move? Yeah.
そう
So, this is not likely to make it into the DOA video because I actually need the evidence to show this. But I've heard some rumblings from a contact of mine that the DOA FGC is coordinating narratives in a Discord server. What they're doing is they are avoiding talking about the fan service on Twitter because they keep getting embarrassed every time. So apparently what they're now doing is they're coordinating narratives to say on Twitter, basically to make themselves look cool, right? To make the FGC itself not look like a bunch of puritanical annoying dickheads. And instead of going on Twitter to talk about that, what I've heard is they're now doing that bitching on the Discord server instead. Now, this is a rumor, I should add. I don't actually have evidence for this because my contact has not given me the evidence, so I can't say definitively if it's true. That said, if it is true, it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me as well if... Okay, grow. It would not surprise me as well if this same Discord server is waiting for my Dead or Alive video so that they can dislike bomb it. If this is indeed what they're doing. Like, I already anticipate certain members of the DOA community making a response video to me, basically to try to debunk what I'm saying, right? I'm already anticipating that. The problem is I don't care about debating the issue with them. Because, at least in my mind, what I'm saying is, it's just evidently true. And I'll have sources to back up everything I'm saying as well, right? So it's not like I'm just pulling shit out of my ass.
内容は
for the sake of it. When I make an argument in the video, I have sources to back it up, right? So if they take umbrage with anything I say, well, you're gonna have to go through my sources. And I have a lot of citations, so... Communists have a hive mind and they fled into a more controlled environment to control optics. Sound true enough? Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, because it's unverified on my end, take everything I say about that server with a grain of salt, because I have not seen it. But it would not surprise me if it turned out to be true. Fuck. Like you said, anything for the feeling of the own. Yeah. Yeah, their entire fucking modus operandi is fucking embarrassingly petty. Like, there is no sincerity or truth-seeking in anything they say. Oh wow. I did not know that was a move. What was it again? How'd she do that? There we go. Oh, that's so good! Hang on. There never will be the truth, because the truth sets people free. If you're free, you can choose not to believe them. They can't have that. Yep, well... If the truth undoes what they believe, then it doesn't deserve to be believed in, does it? Nope. Shit. Just like they can't have us getting sexy ladies in game. You need to be a good comrade, a good ally. Yeah. Too bad I'm neither of those things. That's not what I wanted to... That's... What? There. Oh, bloody hell. Whoa! Screenshot of that. Make that my next thumbnail. Nice shot. Yeah, the screenshot sound, yeah. I love to be.
Victory goes to the last one standing. Battle 2. Fight.
Let's go. Oh, that guy's screaming for a waifu bot. I think all of China can hear it. What with their latest schooner technology that I've been hearing about. Oh boy. Well, that did a lot of damage. I win.
The battle is over. Show respect for the fallen.
敵からの回収品を報告。
内容は
武器を待て。
そう
Oh yeah, something else that happened to me today, which it really pissed me off actually. My lamp has now burnt through its third bulb in just this year. So that's now 3 dead bulbs on my lamp. After today, I've just said, okay, that's it. This lamp needs to go because this has now been there's been a consistent problem.
推奨。敵の速やかな排除。
簡単に
If Chinese mass exports it to the West, we must see an end to the loneliness crisis among men. Yeah. How? All I did was I just switched it on because it was getting dark. That's it. Oh. Well, is the lamp powering the stars? Well, it kept my room bright at least. Or at least it was dim enough to not be like aggravating to the eyes. But now oh shit. But now because the lamp is gone, I have to turn on the room light itself. Which is kind of annoying. Because I liked the particular mood lighting I had. Alright, no more fancy tricks, Kyle, just... Oops. Jesus. Nice butt freeze frame on the butt. Why did the light bulb burn out more often than the flashlight in our phones? You never heard of those burning out. It's because they don't use those little like rods in the middle of the bulb. It's a different mechanism altogether. If I had my normal clothes, this would be epic! Oh, it did its magic at least, that's good. It worked. Oh!
何者かの視線を感じ
Crazy work. I love SoulCalibur. Why is he lying naked? This man is a machine. I am a machine that turns fighting games into pornography.
The memories of ancient battles slumber eternally unknown.
警告前方に敵性反応
排除する。
That should be the motto of my channel. It would be a really funny tweet to put out. Because you've seen that, you know that meme I'm referencing, right? It's that skeleton guy, but he looks like a motorcycle. It's like, I'm an X that turns Y into Z kind of thing.
Victory will not come easily.
She kicks high. He kicks high. She kicks high. And she kicks high again. You know the meme? Yeah.
The last one standing.
I think my favorite version of that is like, my Steam account is a machine that turns that turns 80% discounts into backlog. Goodbye.
私たちは戦い続ける。いつか罰が下るその日まで。
Claim victory.
敵からの回収品を報告
内容は
安心
Congratulations.
Well, not great time-wise, but I had fun doing it, so that's all that matters. Oh, man. Apparently, 2B is like low tier in this game, which is kind of shitty, but not that surprising, I guess.
Welcome to the stage of history retold. To be,
目標地点に向かう。
Let's keep it simple.
アップデータの紹介開始
まだ何も言ってない。
Sorry again about the lack of streams over the past week. Because that bloody cold ruined my fucking day all the time. In fact, I'm still dealing with it now. Like, I had days where I had to take a nap because I was so sensitive to light that it like hurt my eyes really badly. So I had to like cover my face while I was sleeping just to keep the light out. And I had a really bad cough, and then the last couple of days I've just been blowing my nose constantly. It's fucking annoying. 2B's low tier because it's hard to concentrate with a heart on. So true, MV. Like, I was playing Street Fighter 6, in my own time. But I was so horrifically sick that I was playing so terribly. Like, the worst Street Fighter I've played since I started playing the game. Kind of thing. It was fucking awful. Couldn't win anything. Even today, I was playing against a guy who's using DJ, and he's a Japanese player, so probably higher skill level than the average fucking Westerner. And I lost every round. I didn't win a single round against him. It was just too much. Oh. Okay, maybe one round, but I didn't win a single game off him, and it was like nearly 30 games. Turns out when you've been fucking sick and you've been out of practice, it really fucks with you. Fucks with your skill level. Probably some kind of virus. Try drinking a lot. Bigger piss all day. Lemons help. Yeah. It was definitely something. I've even had fucking heart issues lately, like chest pains from this cold. Like, it didn't start off that way, but towards the latter half of this fucking cold, I've been having like tight chest pains as well. And it's like, Jesus Christ, what's going on with me? So yeah, that hasn't been fun. I want to try nasal irrigation, you think it's called. I don't think I've heard of that. But if by nasal irrigation you're talking about blowing my nose all the time, yeah, I don't need a reminder for that. Yeah, it's definitely something. Just in the air. Fucked me up big time. Usually when I get horribly sick, I just have to tough it out. Like, I take like Panadol and cough lollies, and I eat a lot of food. Or at least, yeah, it doesn't usually ruin my appetite when I get sick. I only remember one instance when I was a kid where that happened to me, but otherwise I eat just fine. Yeah, and I've been trying to get some sleep as well, kind of thing. But it's so irritating that I got sick, because Shane got sick, and then eventually I got sick, and that pushed all of our streaming plans back, including mine. Basically pouring water with salt into my nose with neti pots. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, I don't know if I would like to do that, but because I'm at the point of the cold now where it's just flushing out all the phlegm. It's fucking I hate it. It's so disgusting and messy. Burn through like 100 tissues. Ugh. I feel like 2B right now, where she's at fucking 30% health. That's me. Oh, this game's so good. I love SoulCalibur. Yeah, so, because I got sick, I didn't end up doing any Pokemon grinding, like, at all. Like, I said in the last Pokemon stream, I was gonna do some grinding for the throwback playthrough, so that I could just do the Elite Four, but that's not looking... I think I'll have to push that stream back to next week, honestly, just so I have enough time for myself to do the grinding, along with other stuff I have to do. Because one day's not enough grinding for me to do all those Pokemon. It takes one day just for me to do two at most. SoulCalibur 6, aka the last non-ESG friendly fighting game before the body type era. Yeah. It is, isn't it? Such a shame. Such a bloody shame. SoulCalibur and BlazBlue. If I had the power to stop new games being made in this current era, those are the two I would stop. Or, well, if I had the power to change something like that, then I would just force them to not introduce any of that fucking left-wing bullshit. We need 2 to 3 days of grinding, yeah. Definitely need... Because they all have to be at a good enough level too, like Pikachu's fast, but at a weak level, she'll just die really quickly. So I think the minimum level I need my Pokemon to be is like 54. I think that's the 54 or 56. It's one of those. That's the minimum you need just to be able to like comfortably fight back against the Elite Four. Because I remember doing that on a cartridge playthrough when I was trying to get Entei. And I had to level them up to at least like 56, I think. Just so I can have some fighting chance against them. Because yeah, the Elite Four is actually pretty tough. And I personally don't believe in using items, especially during Elite Four battles. Like, it's one... Gym battles are one thing. They're not... Gym battles aren't hard enough to justify using items. But if you did, it's like, okay, whatever, you do that. Unless you play Pokemon Platinum. There was the gym battle with Fantina. That's like the only gym battle where I broke my rule of not using items during that fight, because holy shit is she tough. She was tough. You don't like items in JRPGs in general. It definitely makes fights easier than they should be. I definitely agree with that. But you know, like items and treasures and stuff are just part of the RPG experience, so I don't mind using them. It's just specifically with the Elite Four, I believe in doing it like a proper gauntlet where I save before I fight them, and I don't save until I beat the game. Right? That's how I like to do my Elite Four challenges, because I like to be able to prove to myself that I can beat them without save scumming. I also want that avenue where it's like, I want that opportunity, if I'm getting my ass kicked, to just reset to before I fight, where I can like rearrange my team or grind a bit more, something like that. I just prefer to do it all in one sitting. Like, I'll use items in between fights, like recovery and PP moves and stuff like that. Like, I'll bump those back up if I need to, but otherwise I don't use items during the Elite Four. In the past, it made sense when item limit was about 30 items to carry, but nowadays when you're playing as a vacuum cleaner, it's just free cheats. Yeah, it is. It is. And, I think it'd be nice if there was an option built into a Pokemon game where it prevents you from doing that. Specifically with, like, mainline games, right? Like, I'm not talking, like, spin-off titles where it's like a different experience, like Legends Arceus, for example. That game's hard as shit. So that one, you need items. That one's hard as hell. But yeah, in situations where it's like just a mainline turn-based RPG Pokemon game, like, yeah, like there should be an option for the gym leader to say, you're not allowed to use items. I will heal you, or the Elite Four. I will heal you in between battles, but you will not be allowed to use items during the fight. Only your held items are allowed. You know, I've missed playing Pokemon on stream. devs also don't seem to commit to balance the game around no item usage. Usually it's not the case. They don't even balance their game around the experience share. They used to be able to, because it used to just be a held item, or better yet, it used to be able to be turned off, but now experience all is just built into the games themselves. You can't turn them off anymore. But as a result of them doing that, now every fucking gym battle and Elite 4 battle is easy as piss. It's too easy. Like, children are obviously children, right? But we shouldn't be infantilizing them so much that any pushback from a game they're playing is eliminated, right? I'm sick of this bullshit where, because we don't want kids to be upset or cry or get angry parents involved, we have to make the game piss easy for everyone. It makes no sense in my mind that they do that. Like, we all grew up in a time where those games were hard as shit, and we just had to tough it out, right? There's nothing wrong with a video game giving you some push and pull. Like, some resistance that doesn't just let you walk all over it. Because that's not fun. That's boring. Yeah, especially when we can easily one-shot every Pokemon a gym leader has. Yeah, easily. It's just stupid. You can one-shot Gigantamax Pokemon in Sword and Shield. I remember seeing a video about that. It's literally just, oh, I'm the gym leader, I've got a Gigantamax. Wow, look how big I am. I have so much health. And I was like, my Inteleon one-shots you with like a Hydro Pump. It's like, oh, cool. But if you don't, how else will they be ready for the world? Yeah. It's just annoying. Nothing wrong with some challenge. The challenge is what brings you back for more. Like, why do you think the most popular Pokemon games among streamers and among older fans are generations 1 through 5? Like, everyone says 3, 4, and 5, but basically the beginning up to and including Generation 5. Those are like the gold standard of Pokemon games, right? So it's literally divided by the original timeline and the fairy type timeline, right? With X and Y. Like, before X and Y, every mainline Pokemon game was considered challenging enough that kids could still, like, have a fair shot at it, right? Like, it wasn't so ridiculously difficult. Pokemon Platinum's pretty hard, but it's not impossible, and it's still really fun, right? Pokemon Black and White had a whole new Pokédex. Black 2 and White 2 were... Well, they're considered, like, the gold standard for Pokemon games, right? It's just... not many people bought them, so they're being kind of inflated constantly. And I think it's Black and White and Black and White 2, because they didn't sell that well compared to the other Pokemon games, they got scared. They got terrified into the idea that Pokemon would become like a niche franchise, so they super casualized it in X and Y, but it's like all the gym leaders are easy as hell. You can get all your Kanto Pokemon, so you can play it like Kanto. So there was a bunch of Kanto pandering. They released Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which are fantastic, but no Battle Tower. And the excuse at the time there was from Junichi Masuda himself. He said, oh, well, kids are on their smartphones, so they're not going to have the time commitment to do Battle Tower. Bullshit! That aged so badly, because we've been moving away from mobile gaming in some aspects. Like, it's like mobile games, when Oras came out like 12 years ago, the mobile gaming landscape is completely different from what it is now. Now, mobile games are considered like AAA game quality kind of thing, or even AA games. basically, like, mobile games are now expected to have actual gameplay in them. Not like what they used to. So, what Master ended up doing... What Master ended up doing with Auras is he kneecapped his game permanently into being a less desirable way to play the Hoenn games than the originals. Less desirable than Emerald, which is a game from 2005. It's like... It's so irritating. Like, why is Emerald, which is considered one of the best Pokemon games of all time, the gold standard for competitive post-game content? Even 21 years later, why is that considered the gold standard? Like, yeah, there's Gen 4 with the Pokemon, the Battle Frontier stuff. That's all great as well. I'm not saying it's less important than Emerald's. And Gen 5 has the Pokemon World Tour, or the World Championships. All great. Don't have an issue with any of those. But they had a grand opportunity to bring the Emerald quality of post-game content to Auras with modern gameplay mechanics, like physical special splits, fairy type, VGC doubles, as opposed to like what it used to be, right? Where it was like level 100 doubles. So if they just kept, even if they kept at, like, not even the Emerald fucking post game, although obviously we would have preferred that. If they even just had the Ruby and Sapphire version of that'd be a different story, but they didn't even include that as far as I remember. They just had a fucking little model tower, and they just said, oh, it's under construction, it'll be here soon. It's like, and then it never showed up, did it? It's like, thanks, assholes. You basically made the game less fun to play on replays. It's like, okay, I can go through the main story, and I can catch Pokemon, which is fine, but what if I want to build competitive teams in Auras? What if I want to like build stuff on those games? No, can't do that now. You can do it for Sun and Moon, kind of, but I was playing Sun and Moon, and if you have a PAL copy of those games, they have a risk of fucking dying on you, so that's always fun. It's just bullshit, man. We've become so afraid of kids not being able to understand, not being able to handle, like, hard content, that because they can't handle hard content, now the people who are actually dedicated Pokemon players, who actually know what they're doing, they get fuck all. What they get now is Pokemon Champions, and that's it. But they market Pokemon Champions as being for everyone as well, so the kids are obviously playing it, I think. They're probably not, because they get their asses kicked, but... well... okay. Not all of them, because there is a juniors division in Pokemon. So kids do play competitive Pokemon, they just can't play on the level of adults. Obviously. So irritating. Just so irritating. Guess another topic of interest I could talk about kind of before we wrap up the stream tonight. I watched a video from a guy called 8-Bit Joystick. Don't know if you guys have heard of him. But he made a video talking about how to actually tackle his backlog of like games, TV shows and movies and books and stuff like that. You just tell people that like Pokemon to give the Digimon World, DS, Dawn, and Dusk a try. Digimon World, DS, Dawn, and Dusk. Alright, I'll make a note of that. Because I have... Well, I have the Cyber Sleuth games. Right. I have Cyber Sleuth. Digimon World, DS, Dawn and Dusk. Yeah, like, I try to, I had the problem with my backlog where I have no issue building up the backlog of things to do. The problem is tackling it, right? And Digimon's one of those things. It's a little grindy but rewarding in its own way. Okay. Well, grinding's not as bad as long as you are able to distract yourself while doing it, or if you just do it in like smaller pieces over time instead of just brute forcing it. You watch his vid about backlogs, but you never had this issue. You love your backlog, you never get through it, and it's wonderful. See, I don't like that mindset. I don't. I want to get through everything I own. Like, that is a bucket list thing for me. It's like, if I buy it, I should at least watch it or play it, kind of thing. Digital media as well, I'd like to do that as much as possible, but if there's an anime I have digitally that I hate, I won't finish it. If I have it physically, I'll try to finish it. You know? In video games, video games, I want to get through them. It's just hard because you end up getting distracted. At least I do. With my computer, it's so much easier to just... Well, lately it's been a bit difficult, but it's easier to just hop on YouTube and watch something and then just scroll on Twitter, you know? But yeah, definitely, I do recommend his video about getting through his backlog. He recommends trying this thing of like picking, like doing a 3x3 thing for your backlog. I won't get into too much details about his video, because obviously if I just tell you everything about it, why watch it? But I want to try having like a little thing where I could just say, alright, I am now playing these games, like this rotation of games, watching this rotation of anime or movies, and this picking up this rotation of books, because I have books I want to read as well. I have Daigo Umehara's book, The Will to Keep Winning. I read most of it, but I haven't finished it yet. I should finish it. It's a good book. And I have another book from an Iron Age author by the name of John A. Douglas. He wrote The Black Crown. And I started reading that when I was doing a job, actually, where I was just kind of required to... Like, it was an easy job, really easy job. But it gave me a lot of downtime. And in that downtime, I read through Beowulf, like a translation of Beowulf. And that was really good, actually. I really enjoyed that. I still remember it. And then I started working on The Black Crown, and I was reading The Black Crown. I was like, holy shit. This is a really good book. And it's an indie author. That's what the Iron Age is. It's basically indie authors. And I read through about... I don't know how many pages. Not a lot. But I've been meaning to get back into that. Been meaning to get back into that book, because it was very, very good. And I also have to get through my book as well. I need to work on that. But that'll have to be after the DOA video. Yeah. Once that DOA video is out, and once the DOA community dislike bombs me harasses me. I don't know, tries to get it flagged, maybe. I reckon they'll try their worst. Once the DOA video goes out, it's back to my other things I need to prioritize, like my book. When tackling backlog, the only rule you follow is not to start more than 2 games of the same genre, like no more than 2 JRPGs or 2 DMC, like etc. Yeah, 8-Bit Joystick talks about having like a variety of things, like a long-term game, a narrative game, and a palate cleanser kind of thing. So I definitely agree with not tackling a bunch of JRPGs all at once, because that will burn you out. That's a lot. But something that you can just pick up and play, like a fighting game, for example, that works for me as like a palate cleanser. What I need to do is I need to finish Final Fantasy 16. I need to finish that. You also note down the plot in a notepad so you can return to it years later. Oh my god. It's like you've already watched the video. You already do what he recommends. Crazy. Yeah, I actually thought about buying like a little notebook that tracks my backlog. I've actually thought about doing that. 3 games of the same genre and melt your brain, yeah. Yeah, it's the problem I have with Pokemon as well. Like, I have so many simultaneous Pokemon playthroughs going right now. I have a Japanese Leaf Green playthrough. I have a Sapphire playthrough. That's for my National Dex, right? So I have a National Dex Sapphire playthrough. I have Fire Red on the Switch. I have Soul Silver. I have Heart Gold National Dex. I have Scarlet and Violet to finish. I have Legends Arceus. I have Legends Zelda. I had so many fucking Pokemon games I'm juggling. It's too much. It's just too much to tackle them all at once. That's why I've taken so long with my fucking Gen 3 National Dex. Way too bloody long. I got the I got Pokerus. The Pokemon virus? Yeah, I got Pokerus, you're right. And it always happens around February, March. Every year I get Pokerus. Where I'm like obsessively playing Pokemon again. I don't know why it happens. Probably because of the anniversary. That's probably what gets me going. But yeah, I just become paralyzed with choices. Like, I still have to do the post game in Pokemon Platinum. What's stopping me is I need to catch Shiny Mesprit. It's a good problem to have, sure, but it means I don't get anything done with them. I want to get them all done. Like Pokemon Scarlet, for example, I haven't done the epilogue of it. I haven't done the epilogue for Pokemon Scarlet because right now I'm trying to catch all the legendary Pokemon. Like, I'm trying to catch the right IVs for the Pokemon, or the right natures. So, like, right now in Scarlet, for example, I'm trying to catch Kyogre, right? But I don't just want any Kyogre, I want a Kyogre with 0 attack IVs. Because with the other IVs, I don't have to care about those. I can just bump them with bottle caps, and the nature can change as well, so it doesn't matter. What I just want is 0 attack IVs. If it's something like Groudon, for example, which is my next target, that's for the nature. I want that for the nature. I don't want that for, I don't need that to have 0 attack IVs. In fact, that'd be the worst. That final Scarlet and Violet story was straight cheeks, lol. Yeah, it was shit. Hot take. Scarlet and Violet are the worst mainline Pokemon games I've ever played. Even the original Gen 1 games, with all their buggy shit that you can exploit, Even those are better than Scarlet and Violet. You also have the problem of letting the game go for some reason. Even after you finish everything there is to it, it takes will to let the game rest. I could see that. I could see that being an issue. I feel like with Pokemon, I am satisfied with capping my Pokemon journey with the National Pokedex being completed in it. Like what I'm doing with Pokemon Sapphire right now, right? Because that Pokemon Sapphire is the first Pokemon game that I've ever played that I've owned. Like, that is my Pokemon Sapphire. It's not my brother's copy of Pokemon Crystal or Pokemon Red or Blue or whatever. Like, that's their games, but Pokemon Sapphire is mine. And I've decided with Pokemon Sapphire, like, I did a playthrough of it a long time ago, many years ago, but a few years after that playthrough was done, I decided to make that my Gen 3 National Dex save file. So that would be like a permanent little memory of, like, because with Pokemon Sapphire, it doesn't have the same completionist stuff that you would get for, like, Emerald or Fire Red and Leaf Green, right? Like, oh yeah, that's the Battle Tower, but I'm not too miffed about the Battle Tower. And the advantage with Pokemon Sapphire as well is because the pickup ability doesn't have, like, different sets of items you can get based on your level. You can just get, like, rare candies and all these really good items just whenever you want. So it's a good grinding game as well. And with Pokemon Sapphire, because it's not like replayable like Emerald is, I decided to just make that's my hub game for Gen 3 National Dex. And I got Heart Gold when I was a kid as well, so I want to make Heart Gold my Gen 4 Living Dex. Thought about it for Platinum, but it's fine. Pokemon White 2 is going to be my Gen 5 Living Dex, and I still haven't decided what to do about Gen 6 and 7 because the 3DS cartridges are kind of dying if you have PAL. Agreed, Gen 9 is the worst Pokemon games I've ever played. Yeah, they're so... I've never had a Pokemon game crash on me as often as Pokemon Scarlet. That shit crashed on me like fucking 5 times. It's pissed me off every time. From models to progression, something is wrong with S and V. Yeah. Gen 1 had Missing Nose, so that's already a win. Yep. Scarlet and Violet also has less Pokemon in its Pokédex than Diamond and Pearl. Yep, it does. Well, yes. The main one, like, if you count the DLC, then it bumps up the final total to, like, I think it was like 650 you can get in Scarlet and Violet, but it's still not all the Pokemon. And at this point, they're never gonna give it all. They're never gonna give us all the Pokemon unless they go back to 2D sprites. If they do a 2D sprite game, then you can have all the Pokemon. Otherwise, the only opportunity I see to have all the Pokemon in one game available is Pokemon Champions. Still nowhere near enough for the shiny new game for Pokemon. Yeah, no, it's not. They've decided 400 is the right number for VGC. That's what the 400 is for. It's not for any other reason, in my opinion, because in previous, like, single save file games for Pokemon, the most you ever were able to get in one save file that I saw was, like, at least for Gen 4, is like 390. Right? Which is quite a lot. And it was also quite difficult back in the day to get to that number. But but it's still the majority of the Pokemon. And I think in Gen 5, it's like nearly 500. Gen 5, you can get a lot of Pokemon. And yeah, and Sun and Moon, I think Sun and Moon limited the regional dex to 300 at the time. But then with Gen 8 onward, they decided 400 was the sweet spot. That allows them to do like VGC balancing, and also provides a nice middle finger to anyone whose favorite Pokemon didn't make the cut for that game, for that generation. Because you're always going to be able to use Pikachu. You're always going to be able to use the Kanto starters. You're always going to be able to use Garchomp. Oh, but if your favorite Pokemon is... What's a good Pokemon name? Like, oh, like you'll always be able to use Gyarados. You'll always be able to use Slowbro and Slowking. It's like... but if your favorite Pokemon's fucking Goldeen or Seaking, well, what if you want to use Clamperl? Yeah, literally, if you have a favorite Pokemon that's not competitively viable, fuck you. You don't get to use that generation. Bye. Fuck Clamperl. Fuck Spinder. Is your favorite Pokemon Spinder? Nope. Bye. Not allowed to... Spinder has not been playable in a fucking mainline Pokemon game since fucking BDSP. And the brilliance of Game Freak made it so that Spinder from BDSP is technically an illegal Pokemon, so you can't put it in Pokemon Home. So now what you have to do is you have to catch a Spinder either in Oras or in Gen 3. And then you have to move it into Pokemon Home through Bank. But if you don't have Bank on your 3DS, bye-bye. You don't get to use it anymore. Oh, but don't worry. You'll be able to buy Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald on the eShop when that eventually fucking comes out. Which I hope it does, honestly. Because I would buy those. Just being honest, I would buy them. It's so stupid. You hate that so fucking much? Yeah, it's so dumb. So dumb. Doesn't make any sense. Game Freak just does... It's so annoying because I've grown up with Pokemon my entire life, but the past 10 years have just been nothing but bullshit retard decisions. Like, Sun and Moon has its issues, but I liked Sun and Moon when I played it. Ultra Sun and Moon was shit. I hated playing those. They were nowhere near as good as Sun and Moon, normally. Well, except for, like, post-game. Post-game's the only good thing about Ultra Sun and Moon, but that's it. And nowadays, they just sell you a DLC for that. But at least, even Ultra Sun and Moon, for all my complaints with those games, at least all the content is on the fucking cartridge. HAL simulators? Yeah. I fucking hate HAL. HAL is... Ever since I played Sun and Moon, when I went to the Aether Foundation to find Type Null and Lily and I think Gladion and stuff like that, ever since I walked into one of the rooms of the Aether Foundation, and ever since Hal barged into the door, walked up to me, and fucking jumped up and down, swinging his arms, going, "Deh!" As soon as he did that, I swore for the rest of my life that I would hate this fucking character. I thought, oh my fucking god, Hal, you are the worst Pokemon rival I've ever seen in my life. I fucking hate you. Runs into guarded room, jumps around. Genius, Hal, thanks! You've heard the theory that Pokemon DS games were the most high effort, but they sold badly, so they started doing low effort games after. Yeah. It lines up. it definitely lines up. Like, literally, the backlash from... It's Gen 1ers. It's literally Gen 1ers' fault. And here's... The worst part about Gen 1ers is that the games are good, but they are awful people. They are annoying as fuck. These Gen 1ers went to Black and White, saw the new Pokédex, and they said, "What? Garbage and ice cream? This isn't Gen 1 with my fucking Pokeball shapes and my fucking slime." These are my Gen 1 Pokemon designs. Gen 5 is shit. I'm not buying Gen 5. I don't want this exclusive Pokédex where they tried something different. How dare Game Freak not give me Pikachu and Charizard? This is bullshit. This is not real Pokemon. Then Black 2 and White 2 came out, introduced a bit more like non-Unova Pokemon, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. And oh, we added this great new post-game content. It's a sequel to Black and White. And look, you literally can get a girlfriend in this game. You, unironically, as a male character, can get a fucking girlfriend in Pokemon. And that still wasn't enough for Gen 1ers. So they said, no, if I don't get Charizard, I'm a big, mean, mad boy. I get very, very angry. And then Game Freak said, okay, well, now we have no choice but to go into 3D, where the models don't fucking move properly, but at least you get a free Kanto starter if you hate the Kalos starters, which I don't know why you would, because Greninja is cool, but no. It's a stupid frog and a fox and a fucking rat. Why would I want those? I want to use Charizard. I want to use Venusaur and Blastoise. Oh, and I'm gonna get Mega Lucario as well. Because X and Y wasn't easy enough, apparently. New Pokédex in Black and White gave you what you were looking for. Yeah, I love Black and White. Like, I went into Black and White, and I kind of remember my first experience with it, where it's like, oh, these are like completely new Pokemon. I've not seen a single returning Pokemon from a different region. And you know what? As someone who grew up with Pokemon his entire life up to that point, so if anyone could claim to be a Gen 1er, it'd be me. I was okay with it. I was okay with Black and White giving me a brand new clean slate Pokédex, where it's just all new Pokemon, right? Now, do I like every Unova Pokemon design? No. Obviously, that's silly. You don't have to like all of them. I don't like Swoobat, for example. I don't particularly like Swoobat. But, this fucking stupid notion that if I don't get to use my Kanto Pokemon, then it's not real Pokemon! Stupid. When they did Black 2 and White 2, you felt like you were spoiled for content. Yeah, oh my god. You could get a girlfriend in the game! You could be in movies! You could play as Rosa! Oh, god damn it! I vote for Gen 1er to become a slur. I agree. All in favor. And that's a bit. I'll let you in on the secret. There's a particular way to spell Gen 1er as well, because this is what they were called back in the day. That's how you spell. That's how you spell Gen 1er, right? Now, the Gen 1ers owe us all an apology, in my opinion, right? Speaking as someone who grew up with Pokemon his entire life, right? Gen 1ers owe us an apology for Black and White, for Gen 5. The fact we had both day and night and seasons blew your mind. Yeah, oh, the seasons part, yes. Summer, autumn, winter, spring, like, dude. That was radically different, in my mind, from like the day-night cycle, which I love the day-night cycle, don't get me wrong. But the different seasons, and it's like the dealings change their fucking coats, and it's like, dude, this is sick. You know? Finding N's Pokemon in the wild and it playing his battle theme was amazing. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah. Ah! Gen 5 was great. I don't care what any fucking Gen 1er says. Gen 5 was fucking awesome. I can't wait to go back and play those games. I'm gonna be... I need to finish Gen 3 and Gen 4 before I do Gen 5, but when I do Gen 5, oh man, I'm gonna have a blast. I love Gen 5. Okay, you gotta be properly ism-phobic from now on, thanks. You're welcome. Gen 1er with a hard R. Just a shame the first one has no post-game content, that's its biggest drawback. That's true. Black and White 1 doesn't have the best post-game, but Black and White 2 does. And that's the main one you want to play. Like, you want to do Black and White 1 for the Unova Pokédex experience. And then when you play Black and White 2, that's like the proper Unova experience, the proper Gen 5 experience, in my opinion. Every day we stray further from the Unova dream. Yeah. Every day we stray further from Hilda's beautiful ass. Oh, bloody hell. Unovan dream with dancing dragon meme in our minds. That's such a good meme. Okay. Oh, did my controller disconnect? Come on, why can't the controller connect? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, turns out if you stay on oh, that would be why. Never mind. Hilda's ass right up there with wanting to rail Cynthia. True. So true, Oomphy. Oh, man. Yeah. Gens 1 through 5 are the true Pokemon experience. I think anyone who gets into Pokemon should start with those 5. Start with Gens 5. Gens 1 through 5. You should probably play Gen 6 and 7. At least Gen 6. Because it's got good stuff in it, it's just no post-game. It's kind of shitty. Hilda was so hot they had to put stockings on Rosa to keep our blood pressure lowered, lol. Rosa's only second best, Hilda is the best. Oh, Hilda from Pokemon, you thought I was discussing SoulCalibur waifus? No, that's... yeah. Maybe it's just the way I'm saying it that's confusing. Hilda and Hilda. Like Hilda is like an sound. Hilda is like Pokemon. You did like Gen 6 for the community's sake. It was really fun being a Pokemon fan in those days. Yeah, Gen 6, made it easier for people to have Wi-Fi battles, easier than ever before. I became obsessed with that stuff. I loved playing competitive Pokemon at the time. Yeah, like, for all my complaints with X and Y, definitely the stuff with like the friend safari and playing online against people, being able to do voice chat with your friends in those fights as well, like speaking through the 3DS microphone. Ugh, great stuff. That was great. Now for Pokélady, Cynthia is first. Cynthia's up there. Cynthia is definitely up there. But we all know the real appeal of Pokemon are the 10-year-olds. Play Pokemon as a kid. Pokemon. Play Pokemon as an adult. 10-year-old girls. It was the first time in a long time Pokemon really came back to life after everyone called it gay. Yeah. That's true. Like, it's annoying. There's like two resurgences. There's the X and Y resurgence and the Pokemon Go resurgence. And unfortunately, I think it was Pokemon Go that did the most damage to Pokemon. Like, X and Y had its issues of like Gen 1 pandering, but Pokemon Go made it way worse. And it turns out Pokemon Go was collecting our camera data to give it to the CIA, so fucking... well done, everyone. You created a map of the entire world for governments to spy you with. Spy on you with. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Gen 6 Wi-Fi battle helped distract from the fact 3D Pokemon weren't as animated as the N64 models, yeah. Annoyingly, yeah. I can never get over the fact that the 3D models are so fucking lifeless compared to how they used to be. Like, even Pokemon Champions, it's just a more glorified fucking BDSP. Like, Gen 8 as well. Just Gen 8 in general. It's just glorified Gen 8 again. It's like, how fucking lame. Like, some of the animations are cool, but a lot of them are just inexcusably bad. When presented with either the girls or the mons, I choose the ladies. Me too. And Hilda is unbeatable Pokélady. Maybe Leaf is a close second. Leaf is good. Leaf is really good. Chris is good. I like Chris. And Lyra. Lyra's a favorite. You want the same animation we had in the GameCube era? Me too. Yeah, I was actually thinking about playing Pokemon Coliseum recently. Because to do the Gen 3 living decks, I need to get Ho-Oh and Lugia. And I've already made progress in Pokemon XD. I have a save file from when I was a kid. But I am woefully underleveled, I think, so that'll be very hard. Lyra's big hat does make her top tier, you're so right, yeah. I don't know, I think her overalls are cute. I like her overalls and her little pigtails. And I like how she giggles in Pokemon Masters. Who else was good? I mean, obviously May is good. Like, I think people underestimate just how big her boobs actually are, especially when you watch the anime. May's boobs are massive. Dawn I'm not the biggest fan of, although I like her Pokemon Platinum design a lot more than her Diamond and Pearl design, personally. Yeah, I like those a lot. And, Serena's okay. Yeah, I'd say the best Pokegirl designs are Gens 4 and 5, to be honest. I think those are the best. They're almost as big as Jessie's, yeah. Crazy. Actually crazy. It's like, oh, but Weeb, you fucking pedo. If you look at the original video game artwork, they're not that big. It's like, they're still pretty big. Comparatively. And if you watch the anime, like I said, the anime version, they're fucking, well, hello. Even Cynthia couldn't compete. Hot take, you never found Jessie attractive. Yeah, me too as a kid. I didn't like Jessie. I think it's her hair that didn't work for me. I had a much bigger crush on Misty as a kid. Jessie didn't do anything for me. Like, I see the appeal now of Jessie, but back then I was like, eh. I guess back then I always just kind of thought she was annoying. Which is the point. And her attitude is less to be... Yeah, it leaves a lot to be desired. You're right. I think I'm gonna have to push my Pokemon stream back to next week. Sadly, because of... Well, because I got sick, I didn't get to grind. You did, it was all because of the hair. One massive choker. Yeah. I can see it, she just didn't do anything for me as a kid. Oh well. Who was it on the Pokemon team that said boys get tired of girls, so they have to rotate them every time Ash moves to a new region? Was it Takashi Shudo? Or was it some other guy? Shudo was the writer of the anime. In hindsight, as funny as that quote is, in hindsight, he made the correct decision because he ended up making some, some characters, really popular. Like, Misty, May, Dawn. Iris doesn't get any love because she's kind of annoying, so fuck her. Serena. I mean, he was right, wasn't he? In the end, he was right. Now everyone has a favorite. James has a bigger act than Jessie. What? I didn't hear about this. I only watched the English version of the anime. What? They did dub most of that episode? They just cut the really egregious parts? Well, I'm glad they got rid of it, because I hate the cuties. And if you get it wet, she looks gorgeous. Wasn't it the director? I don't remember his name. I just remember someone who worked on the anime said, boys get tired of the same girl, so we gotta give them new girls. Which, I think he was projecting, personally, but it gave us a bunch of waifus, what can I say? Oh, okay, I'm coughing a lot. I need to stop. I need to wrap up the stream. Ash's true boyfriend, go. Yeah. Serena is better than Iris? I agree. Serena got to kiss Ash. She got on the same level as Latias. No other girl could claim that in Pokemon. So, even though I have a personal bias towards Misty or May, if Serena won, I couldn't complain. Because I think she's fair competition. Funny that Ash chose Latias after all that, lol. No, Latias chose him. Because apparently, at the end of his journey, Latias finally came back to him and is now his Pokemon. Finally. It only took 19 years? Or something like that. Took forever. You mean at the end of the anime, Latias ends up with that? Yeah, yeah, I know you meant that. I was just complaining that it took too long. Actually fucking crazy. So crazy. A Pokemon is on the same level as Serena. And people don't care as much, honestly. That's the funny part. Like, normally I hate the fucking furry stuff, but when it comes with Latias, I don't know. Somehow I don't mind with Latias specifically, or Gardevoir. Lucario I do mind. No Lucario. Bad Lucario. None of that shit. Get that furry shit out of my house. What's that fucking meme with the American soldier? He's fucking hovering over Japan where he's like, hey, you there, Japan. Stop that shit immediately. Stop that furry shit now. Stop that NTR crap. Latias can become human, that's why it's easy to accept. Yes. That is true. And it's different from, like, Meganium. Or, like, Ash's Chikorita, now Meganium, right? It's different. Because that whole thing... Because that was, like, a cute thing, where Chikorita's actually in love with Ash. This is a cute thing. You know? But with Latias, it's like, okay, as Latias, I have the ability to turn into a human, right? So I can live out my childhood dream of becoming a Pokemon folklore story. Jontron, out of this house! Out of this house! He keeps her as a Bayleaf. Ash doesn't deserve her. I thought Bayleaf evolved into Meganium. Didn't Bayleaf evolve? Or am I misremembering Pokemon Master Quest? Was it? He doesn't. Ah. I must have been thinking of someone else's Meganium then. Anyway, the point stands. The point stands. Ash is missing out now because Meganium has Mega Evolution, and in competitive Pokemon, Mega Meganium is actually extremely good. Like, genuinely a really good Pokemon to use. Which is quite impressive, because Meganium used to be considered the absolute worst starter Pokemon of all time. But now... now it's probably Delphox, to be honest. Delphox is probably the worst starter. Let's see. Feraligator's my favorite Pokemon of all time, so it hurts to say this, but Feraligator's not as good as he could be. He's too fucking slow. They make him too slow. Chikorita having a character arc of accepting her being a Bayleaf is one of the best parts of the Johto anime. Okay. Yeah. Did we watch that part? I know you've watched it, obviously, but the last I remember of Bayleaf is she only recently evolved and had like an argument with Ash. So I don't remember. We did. She was sad she couldn't jump on Ash anymore. Yeah. That was one of the better episodes of Johto. The Johto anime is not as good as I remembered it being as a kid, but the Chikorita stuff, those are good. Those are actually good episodes. Like, genuinely. It has its moments, yeah. It does. It's just... you can really tell which episode Takeshi Shudo struggled to write the most. You can really tell. Like, where he's just like, oh my god. Fine, we'll just get this fucking plot out of the way. There, it resolved itself exactly the way you think it does, kind of thing. The Magnemite episode made us laugh hysterically. You still remember that? Yeah, I do too. That was a good one. I liked the Blissey one with Jessie. That was alright. The Chikorita stuff was cute. Yeah, it was. I liked it. that was one of the better episodes. And oh, I liked the Johto episode where the Pokemon are separated from the humans. So it's like Chikorita, Cyndaquil, and Totodile, and Snorlax and Meowth and stuff like that. That was a good episode. I liked that one, even on rewatch. That's why Chikorita's the best Mon. So you keep saying. Chikorita's good, but you know, those episodes are always the best when you get rid of the humans. Yeah, unironically, it makes it a lot more interesting. Well, okay, there's one exception to that, and that's the Pokemon Oasis episode. If you remember that one, where it's like a secluded area where no humans are allowed to enter that little space. That was kind of annoying. I didn't like that one as much, but I understood it as well. No, excuse me. Oh yeah, that was trash. That was a trash one. Yeah, it was. Ow. I fucking burped and it went through my fucking rib cage. Ugh. Alright, I need to start wrapping up the stream, I think. Because, I'm tired and I'm still sick. The stream was mainly to test whether or not I can go back to streaming. I think I can, I just need to limit it to a couple of hours instead of 3 hours. Yeah, I'll make it a big stink over nothing. Actual garbage episode. Yeah, it was. That one sucked. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up this stream. So I guess for announcements, I'm gonna push the Pokemon stream back to next week. I should be feeling better by then. Hopefully I'll have finished enough grinding to where I could just do the Elite Four, and that'll basically be the stream and maybe some post-game stuff. Because I kind of want to make this next part the last part for my throwback playthrough. Mainly so I don't burn myself out with Fire Red, because I want to get back to that Pokédex. I haven't finished it yet. I'm gonna do that, and RE4 should be back to its regular schedule next Tuesday, assuming I feel better by then. Because if my cold gets worse after the stream, then that'll be fun. But hopefully next Tuesday RE4 should be fine. Next Friday, hopefully Pokemon should be the last one. This weekend, I'll be fine. That's for me to decide, not for you, Sonny Jim. This weekend, Shane and I on the Opie Bros channel were thinking of doing something. We don't know if it'll be the start of a new playthrough or if we're going to do like a one-off thing. Still kind of debating that, but we've kind of been getting in the mood for a particular game franchise, so we might play that. I have some ideas for that stream, so it should be fun if we do that. But if nothing this weekend, then next weekend we will... Basically all of next week, we should be back on our regular schedule by now. And, yeah, that'll be it for announcements. Okay. Thanks everyone for showing up to SoulCalibur 6. I had fun. 2B is hot. The FGC are hypocrites. And next week we'll be playing RE4 Pokemon and Surprise, hopefully. Thanks for showing up once again. Maybe we could do more SoulCalibur in the future again. I mean, SoulCalibur just seems to be one of those things where I could just make it like a a semi-regular staple. Thanks for visiting you while sick. It was fun. Get well. 2P is life. Well, thank you. I agree. Chocolate waifus. Chocolate waifus are not the same as black people. They're very different. One I fall in love, the other is the mega annoying. Yeah. Alright. That'll be all for announcements from me. Take care of yourselves, don't get sick like I did. And hopefully I'll see you on the weekend. Thanks again, everyone. I'll see you soon. Take care of yourselves.